It is up.
Perfect. So, welcome in everybody. Thank you for joining the Tableau Mystery Challenge today. We, Data Plus Women US Northeast Group, are super excited to have you on the challenge today. And let's see who finds it out well and how it goes from here. We already have the detectives in the room with hats and magnifying glasses. So, this looks exciting. Before we dive into the dashboards, I hope everybody have access to the Tableau dashboard into which we are looking into it. Can everybody just confirm in the chat if they have access to the dashboards and everything is working fine on their side? Okay.
Hold on. I will pull it up and I will put it in the room. Tableau, public. Just in case you're following along, we put it here. If you want to follow along, you can watch the recording if you want to. Go ahead and paste it. Awesome. Okay, there it is in the chat.
Thanks, Don. So let's go into the next slide. So we'll go quickly on the agenda. We'll go through the climax of what's the mystery about, how this death happened, and who was the culprit. At the end, you will have the link to Slido where you can go into it and put in your answers. And the one who answers quickly, they'll get the swag. We'll do the top 3 out of it. And at the end, Don will help us walk through the demo, that how when we can drill down to the answers and how we end up getting the person who killed Mr. Modi.
So we'll show you the who did it, like what, and where. Awesome.
So Mr. Modi was found dead on October 7th, 2018 and he was a man with lot of debts and he had a bad habit of gambling and he was in not so good terms with many of you peoples who were like kind of enemy but were had balls on him to kill him, right? So you have the dashboard link. You can open up the dashboard and try going through the different varieties of suspect faces we have. And here's Mr. Bodhi. He was wrong in with 6 suspects. And these are the suspects. These are all of them who can be one of the killer for Mr. Dead, Mr. Body, who was dead. So it's George Green, Willow White, Matthew Mustard, Paul Plum, Scarlett Smith, and Paul. Pretty faces here, but those are the murderers, and I will say the killers. So have your detective hats on, and we can look into who did it, right? So are you already up in here? Everybody have access to Slido?
Okay, I will start sharing my screen.
Perfect.
Awesome. Okay. Can you stop sharing yours and I'll share mine?
Yeah, just a sec. Yep, here you go.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're using Slido, so it'll help us figure out who answered the correct answers the fastest. So you can scan the QR code with your phone and put 2960 or 608, slido.com. And we narrowed down the suspects to 4. We narrowed down the weapon to 4, and we narrowed down the places to 4. So there is a chance that you could guess and not do the challenge completely right.
Almost there. We have good people in here. Let us know if you need access to Slido or any troubles with Slido so we can help in here.
Okay. The first question. David, I don't see you with Slido. David, are you there? Are you
I
there,
am
David?
here. I didn't do it beforehand. I'm sorry. I've been
Oh,
hosting a meeting at
oh,
work for the past 2 days, and I've been spending the
oh.
weeks getting ready for that.
Okay. Yeah,
But I
no
am
worries.
watching to pay attention to what you
I'm
did.
watching. Okay, cool. Sorry to call you out, David. I bet Sharina knows. I see Sharina's name on here too. I bet she knows. Uh, welcome, everybody. Okay, so the first question is, who is the culprit? Let's take a guess. Sharina says, "Hi, I know." Richard, you think you're disqualified? You might be. It's okay. It's okay. So where we got this challenge, and I'll show that after I do the Slido. Okay, so we still have some people deciding. All right. Who was the culprit? Was it George Green, Paul Plum, Paulina Peacock, or Scarlett Smith? Who done it? It looks like a lot of people are saying Paul Plum did it. And it looks like George Green and Scarlett Smith are in the lead for the number 2 spot. Okay. The answer is Paul Plum. He did it. All right. So, what was the weapon? Was it the candlestick? Was it the knife? Was it the rope or the wrench? We are giving away swag for the top 3. Yes, Richard, yes. What was the weapon? Oh, there was gloves that came in the kit, and there was a pipe. So this is fun. I even have a little jacket already that I think would go with this. And I think this would be a great idea for, a Tableau conference, is to do like a pre kind of exercise. But okay, what was the weapon? All right. Oh, we've got 50% of people saying the candlestick. We've got the knife, the rope, and the wrench. So it looks like the rope is number 2. Let's see what the correct answer is. The candlestick. So it's Professor Plum, Paul Plum with the candlestick. And then where did it happen? Where is the scene of the crime? Was it the cellar door, which sounds like a speakeasy? Was it the disappearing dining club? Was it the Fulham? Am I saying that right? Fulham study?
Study.
Or was it the quarter bar and lounge? So where was the scene of the crime? I like how you're pondering, Richard. I like how you're pondering. Sharina, you have a hat. Yay! We should have sent out a memo ahead of time that, we were supposed to have Sherlock Holmes hats for the event. Okay, so who did it? Where? Paul? Candlestick? Everyone, oh, it looks like 63% of people are saying the quarter bar and lounge. Someone's saying the study. And the correct answer is the quarter bar and lounge. And congratulations, Tab Mayor, Lori, Ghana. Send me a message on LinkedIn and I will, the top 3, I will give you swag. I'll need your address so I can mail it out to you. Okay, so now how do we figure out who did it? How did we figure this out? So I'm going to go ahead and share, wrong one. I'm going to go ahead and share the challenge workbook. And I did this so long ago, so I'm going to walk you through the steps. Okay, so first we're going to figure out who. And we needed to look at the 2 data sources. So if we look at the Whodunnit challenge, to find out who did it, need to look at the data sources to determine the who. So if we look at our instructions, we're looking at the text message data and the phone directory. So text messages and the phone directory. So if we look at the phone data, so I'm going to click on the phone data, and this is from an Alteryx challenge, just by the way. I'm going to click on view data. So it looks like we've got some names and some phone numbers. All right, so we might have a primary key there with a phone number. And if we look at text messages, it looks like we have, let me look at the text messages. It looks like we've got message from, but we don't have an asterisk and we don't have any spaces in the numbers. So those of you that use Tableau Prep, you probably could have done this pretty quickly. Alteryx do this pretty quickly. I'm going to show you how to do this in Tableau. So we need to make sure that the phone number matches that message here. So I'm going to go to the phone directory and I'm going to create a calculated field just for the phone number. So I'm going to create a calculated field here. And there's probably many different ways of doing this, but I used a regex replace formula. So is anybody familiar with regex replace? Is anyone on the call used regex? Give me a thumbs up if you've used regex before, regex replace. Okay, so regex replace, awesome. Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Ghana. So regex replace has syntax that you kind of have to know, like any slashes. So if we look at our phone number, it had a slash and it had a space. So we want to take out those, they had plus signs and it had a space. So if we wanted to take out that plus sign, we have to follow it with a backslash. And then we want to put in anything that we want to remove in these 2 brackets. So slash S plus, and then we want to replace it with nothing. So there is a website called regex 101 that you can use to kind of figure out regex syntax if you're ever stuck. And it's a great tool if you want to extract something like maybe an employee ID or something like that in a cell that has like a bunch of junk in it, and you're just looking for like a phone number or something like that. So regex, extract, match, replace, a very powerful tool. So I'm going to go ahead and call this phone. All right. So now we have our primary key that we can join with the text message. So for text message, I'm going to go back to the text message sheet and I'm going to put message from on the rows here. So we can see the different phone numbers here. I'm going to put, oh wait, we don't have a name here. So I'm going to go back to the phone directory and grab the name and put it on the rows shelf. But we need to create a relationship between the 2. Data blending, we all know the caveats of data blending here. So I'm going to go to edit blend relationships. And I'm going to join text message and add that message to that phone number. And then we should be able to join those two data sets. And we couldn't. Oh my gosh. All right, hold on a second. Edit blend relationship.
You want message from or message to, don't you? Instead of the actual message.
Message from. You're right. Thank you. Edit blend relationships. Text message, phone directory, add message from. Correct. And then phone. Thank you. Okay. So then name. Yep. Okay. Sweet. So now it should join this message from and then the message. Correct. Thank you, David, for speaking up. And then the message to, I'm going to put on, so we have message from and message to. And then our message. So if we look at our messages here, we have a bunch of junk. It looks like we have some that have dates, but we also have some text messages in here. And we really want to just extract the ones that have a date only. David on the phone could probably do this a little bit differently than I, maybe a better way. Maybe you all did a little better way of doing this than me. But what I chose to do was extract the day, the month, the year, and the time, all separately from this message column. So I'm going to go ahead and create a calculated field on message. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a left formula. So if we look at the one with, 07 October, I'm going to do a left formula here. And then I'm just going to extract 2 spaces. So then this should be my day formula. So if I put this on the rows shelf, but it's extracting just the 2 letters of all of them, but I can see for that one that had a specific day there that it has the 7th. So the next one I wanted to create was the month. So I'm going to go ahead and create a calculated field and then call this month. And this one, I'm going to do a left again, because this time I can see that it is, if I count the spaces, I want the end of that 3rd letter. So I'm going to say left, give me the 6 here. So I want to go over 6 spaces. So if I go ahead and just put this on the row shelf now, I can see we have 07 space October. So if I go back in here, I'm going to nest the left in a right formula. So now I'm going to say, hey, grab that, but then give me 3 from the right. So now I had the left inside, and the way that formulas work, it's inside to out, is if you ever want to think about it that way. So I'm going to click OK on that. And now we have the month. So we have the day, the month, and year. Year should be very similar to this calculated field. So I'm going to duplicate my month formula, and I'm just going to change it to have this one as 9 letters. So I'll change this to year. And then instead of 3 over, I'm going to do 2 over. 2 over from the right. So that should extract just that 18 from inside. So if I click on year, right, left message, and then I can now have this on the rows shelf. Am I going a little too fast? So the day, the month, the year, and then of course we have the time. Like I said, there's probably a better way of doing this, but this is just how I did it. So I'm going to duplicate the year formula, and I'm going to extract the time now. So I'm going to call this time. And I'm going to go over 18 spaces. and then I'm going to put 5, and I'm going to bring them all together, the day, the month, the year, and the time, because I'm actually going to format it as a date time. So left message 18, and then 5. So I'm going to click OK on this. And I'm going to put this on the row shelf. So we can see, yep, we've got our time here. So now I'm going to bring it all together. So I'm going to create a calculated field. And I'm going to call this meeting date time. Oops. And I'm going to add the day plus the month plus the year. And then I'm going to add a space plus and then put the time. So I've added all of these fields together, but I want to force Tableau into looking at this as a date time. So I'm going to just nest it in a date time formula. So meeting date time, day plus month plus year plus a space plus time. I'm going to click OK on this. And I can see Tableau formatted it as the date and time. And I can add this on the rows shelf. And oh, there's some nulls here. And I can see that it automatically, by default, formats it as a year. So I'm just going to say exact date. And I'm going to make it discrete. Okay. I can see, oh, all right, there's some dates, but there's some nulls here. So one thing that I like to do is use an is null formula. So I'm going to just see how I did this. Yep. So I'm just going to create another calculated field just to filter out all those is nulls. So I'll just do is null date. So is null meeting date and time. And then get rid of that curly bracket. This will give me a Boolean value that I'll just filter out. So I'll put is null date, and then I'll say false. So there I have all of the ones where we have a meeting date and time. Well, it looks like he met with 5 of the suspects here. But how do we determine which one it was? Well, we have to look at when the body was discovered, which was around 3 p.m. on October 7th. So if we look at this, and okay, I'm going to say October 7th. So that filters out Scarlett Smith, and that filters out Paulina Peacock. All right. But the 7th near 3 o'clock, 1500. So I would say that it is Paul Plum because he is at 1:30. Bennett body is our body. So it was actually 4 of the suspects. So it was Paul Plum. Paul was our suspect. All right. So we figured out the who. But now we need to figure out the what. So, and then I just like to worksheet, add a caption. I'm just going to put, it was Paul Plum. All right. So now we want to figure out the what. So this is where we need to look at the purchase details and then the fake credit card transactions. So let's look at the fake credit card transactions. I'm going to click on view data. So with this data, I had to bring it in and split it. So I don't know if you're familiar with Tableau's functionality to split data, but the card number came in as this field 1. So you can see it's all jumbled together with a pipe. So I brought it in and split it out for you. So you didn't have to do this. If you were using like another tool, obviously you could do this differently. So we want to figure out with what. So we want to join that data with the purchase details. So let's look at the purchase details. So we've got a credit card number here, and we have some items that were purchased. So credit card here, and then do we have a credit card number here? We have a masked credit card number. So we're going to have to mask the card number to join it with the purchase details. So I'm going to have to go to the purchase details and create a calculated field to mask it. So I'm going to go create a calculated field. And call this revised card number. And I'm going to do that whole left and right formula again. So I'm going to bring in the card number. I'm going to say left. Give me the first 4. All right. Then I'm going to mask it with all of the X's. So it looks like there's 8 X's. X, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So mask those. And then give me the right card number with 4. So that should, now I will be able to join this on the other data set. So left and then a right formula on that. I'm going to click OK on this. So now I've got my primary key, and I'm going to go ahead and bring in the card number, the revised card number on the row here. And I'm going to go to the fake credit card statement and put the card number just so you can see. Oh, I have to establish relationship. So I'm going to go to the data, edit blend relationships. So hopefully this time I'll do it correctly. Fake credit card statement. I'm going to add my credit card number, revised credit card number with card number to force the join there. And then I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to bring the card number back to the shelf so we can see. It didn't quite match that one. It's interesting. Okay. And then I'm going to put the cardholder name here. Okay, so it might mean that this wasn't on the other data set. And then I'm going to bring in the item. So what was the item that was purchased? Okay, so I'm going to bring that on there. And we already know who the killer is. So we can go to the cardholder name and filter on Paul Plum. So I'm going to click OK on Paul Plum. And it looks like it was the candlestick. So worksheet, show caption. Because it doesn't look like he's got the pipe there. It doesn't look like he's got the revolver. So it was the candlestick. So we've got the who and the what. And now we want to figure out where. So this is where you have to get into the whole spatial calculations. So if you look at this, it has to be within 1 kilometer of the point of discovery. So that's why I kind of provided you this, this chart here to see the crime happened here. And you have all of these points with their latitude and longitude. So there is some calculations that you can create in Tableau to kind of figure that out. So we're going to look at Instagram posts, and we have to figure out the latitude and longitude. So we did, sorry, the instructions here. Instagram post locations, point of discovery, Cluedo. Point of discovery, Cluedo. So if we look at point discovery, Cluedo, it gave us a latitude and a longitude. And what I did for this is I took a print screen of the latitude and longitude, and I hard coded this instead of doing a join. You can probably do it another way, but so I'm just going to put this to the side using Slido, and then I'm going to figure out the make point, or the distance, to calculate our distance. So what I did is I put this here. So I created a calculated field. Sorry, Instagram post locations. Wait, I'm sorry. So make point, latitude, longitude. So I gave you that of the different locations. All right. Then I had a calculated field for location. Oh, sorry. Then I created the discovery latitude and longitude. So I created a calculated field and called this discovery. And this was the, where's the discovery lat? I'm going to make it blank right now. This was 510. It seems like my Snagit decided to close. 51505. Can you? You can't do that. Okay. I'm going to go back to the location. Five one 5054. Okay, that was discovery latitude. And then I want to give this a geographic property of latitude. And then I'm going to create another calculated field called discovery longitude. And this was negative 0.075423 Okay. So then I gave that a geographic role of longitude. So now I want to calculate the distance from the discovery. So how do I calculate the distance from the discovery? So I'm going to create another calculated field and call this distance. And this is my make point. The discovery lat and the discovery longitude. All right. Then I'm going to need to do a make point for the latitude and longitude. Or I could just use the make point that I already created. But lat, comma, longitude. All right. And I'm going to nest this in a distance formula. And I want it in kilometers. So I'm going to put km, and I'm going to put distance in the beginning. So I should have, and I'm going to stretch this out. So I've got my make point and my make point, and I want them in kilometers because this took place in London. So I'm going to click OK on this. And now I'm going to put this on our sheet. So I'm going to put the location. So we've got all of the bars that are close to where the body was found. I'm going to put the type on the rose shelf. Was it a bar? Was it a library? And now I'm going to put that distance from discovery on my text marks card. And here I'm just simply going to sort. So it looks like the closest one to where the body was found was the quarter bar and lounge. So that is how we figured out the where. So I got this. Any questions on in the comments about this challenge? Did anyone figure it out a little bit differently? What about showing a map? Okay. Well, I already did that for you, Richard. Where did it happen? So, and then I have the little circles here where I put, and they're not showing up. Edit colors. I'll make them a little bit. Change the opacity. Yeah, there we go. So that is, I put latitude and longitude on the map, and I did a make point. So with map layers. So that is how I created that one. Okay. I did grab this from an Alteryx challenge. It was Cluedo Challenge 136. So they actually show you the Alteryx way of finding the solution to the challenge, which has a lot more steps than Tableau. So point for Tableau, this was a lot quicker. If you're ever curious about Alteryx, I know we're Tableau user group here. It's a ETL tool, extract, transform, and load. And it's like Tableau prep, but you know, apples and oranges, they're all. You use the buffer function on the map to see which point fell inside the 1 kilometer radius. Awesome. Same number of steps for Alteryx. Okay, I'm not sure. All right. Does anybody else want to share anything about the Whodunnit challenge? Like I said, I would love to do this again, but it requires mocking up of data. Does anybody have any Q&A for us? Do we do concentric rings for distance? That's always something we could do. All right. And like I said, this is all stuff that you would do. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like, and I also had this idea because when I went to an Inspire, there was actually somebody that did both as well. Like, he did a demonstration on Alteryx and Tableau, and they did it for their local bus routes. So he used Tableau and then Alteryx to clean up the data, whereas you could also do Tableau prep to clean up the data. But awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to try to come up with something fun for our next session in December. Yeah, Tab did answer the concentric rings of buffer function. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. But thank you so much for joining us and figuring out the Tableau mystery with a nod to Clue.
Such an informative session, Dawn. Thanks for sharing this knowledge.
Awesome.